So get this, we've got some hot news straight out of Tom's Hardware, and it's about GTA V on PC.
Yeah, this isn't just a little patch. It's like they're giving the game a whole new facelift.
A facelift? Okay, I like that. So we're talking about ray tracing, right? It's finally coming to the PC version.
Finally! PS5 and Xbox have had it for a bit. PC gamers, well, they've been waiting.
They have been pretty patient. So the big question, I think, is what does ray tracing even do for a game like this?
Well, just imagine you're driving down a rainy street in Los Santos. You see the puddles. With ray tracing, you'd see the neon signs reflected in them. You'd see headlights like actually lighting up the street, even like the shadows.
Oh, wow. So it's not just like making things shiny. It's like a whole other level of realism.
Yeah, exactly. It's about depth. It's like way more real than, what we've seen before.
So it's more than just looks then?
Oh, yeah. The article, it mentions faster loading, too, because of DirectStorage.
Ah, DirectStorage. So for folks with those new SSDs, what kind of difference are we talking?
Okay, imagine you're in a chase, right? And you need to switch cars fast.
Okay, got it.
With this, you're back in the action, like instantly. No waiting around.
Now that is a game changer. Okay, what about Dolby Atmos? How's that going to change how the game sounds?
Imagine a firefight. You'll hear where every shot is coming from, every explosion, every siren. It's like being right there in the middle of it.
Sounds intense. But won't all this new stuff make even a really good PC struggle?
Well, that's where AMD FSR 3 and Nvidia DLSS 3 come in. And get this, they both have frame generation. Think of them like a turbo boost for your graphics card.
Okay, hold on. Acronyms flying everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
What does this mean for someone who just wants the game to run smoothly?
It means you can have all the ray tracing, all the fancy graphics, and still have the game run super smooth. You need the right hardware, of course. And speaking of hardware, the article, it mentions something about supporting higher resolutions and aspect ratios.
Ooh, does this mean ultra-wide monitors are finally getting some love?
Sounds like it, right? It seems like they're going to support those awesome ultra-wide monitors, and the scaling's going to be better, so the HUD looks good, even on those super high-res displays.
Finally. No more squinting at tiny text.
Exactly. It's about time, honestly. But Rockstar, they haven't officially said anything yet, so,
So it's just a hint for now. All right, well, the article does talk about the minimum and recommended specs to run this updated GTA V.
Yeah.
But they don't say what resolution or frame rate those specs are for, do they? What gives?
It's a little bit of a mystery, isn't it? But realistically, you're going to need a really powerful PC if you want all the best stuff, like high resolution, ultra wide, all that. More than what's on those basic specs, I bet.
Yeah, I was going to say those minimum specs, they might get you in the game, but for the full Los Santos experience,
You got to bring out the big gun.
you got it. High end all the way.
Hmm?
But there's one more thing that's kind of weird. They're saying the old and new versions of the game won't be able to play together online.
Yeah, this is where things get tricky. It basically splits the community in two.
So wait, if my friend hasn't upgraded their PC, we can't play together.
That's what it sounds like.
That doesn't seem very fair. Why would they do that?
Good question. It could be technical, or maybe they had a reason for doing it this way. Who knows? But it definitely raises some questions.
Yeah, it does. Like, will this make finding matches take longer? And will people even want to play the old version anymore?
Yeah, it could really change things. And why Rockstar decided to go this route, it's a head-scratcher. Maybe we can get some clues by looking at what the community is saying.
Right, the article mentioned some pretty interesting discussions happening in the forums. What are people saying about all this?
Well, there's a whole mix of reactions. Some people, they're like, why bother updating such an old game? And others, they're not buying into all the hype about ray tracing.
So some people think Rockstar should be focusing on, what, GTA 6 instead?
Maybe. But there are tons of people still playing GTA V, both online and offline. Shouldn't they get to experience all this new tech, too? Especially if they have a really good PC?
That's true. And what about all the people who create mods for the game? They've done some amazing stuff.
Exactly. But this update, it could cause some problems for them. They use the game's code to make their mods, and with all this new stuff...
Oh, I see. Their mods might not work anymore.
Right. They might have to update them, which takes time, and sometimes it's just not possible. We'll have to see how they handle it.
It'll be interesting to see how it all plays out. So we've got people who are skeptical, people who are excited, and then you've got the modders who are probably a bit of both.
Yeah, it's a mixed bag for sure. It all comes down to personal preference, I guess. What do you think is the most important thing for players to consider with this update?
Well, it depends on what they care about most. Do they want the absolute best graphics? Do they want to play with their friends?
Yeah. And how powerful is their PC?
Exactly. There's no one-size-fits-all answer here. It's about weighing the pros and cons.
Absolutely. And speaking of pros and cons, I think we should dig into those system requirements a bit more.
Yeah, good idea. Let's take a closer look at those specs and see what they tell us about what Rockstar is trying to do with this update.
Right. Are they trying to make this for everyone or just a select few? And is splitting the community the right way to go about it?
So many questions. But first, we need to take a little break. Back in a flash.
Be soon.
Okay, so we were just talking about how this update might divide the GTA Online community.
Yeah, and it's not just about, like, the hardware you have. It could impact the modders, too, you know?
Right, the modders. They've been a big part of why GTA V is still so popular. How could this update affect them?
Well, think about how they work. They use the game's code to make their mods. But this update changes a lot of that code with all the new graphics and stuff.
So are you saying their mods might just stop working?
It's possible. They'll probably have to update a lot of them. And some mods, well, they might just not work anymore, no matter what.
Wow, so it could be a real headache for the modding community.
It could. And we have no idea how Rockstar is going to handle that. It's a bit of a mystery.
A mystery for sure. Speaking of mysteries, we got to talk about those system requirements. They're a little vague, aren't they?
Yeah, it doesn't say anything about what resolution or frame rate you'll get with those specs.
It's almost like they're trying to hide something.
Maybe. But, if you really want the best experience, ray tracing, high resolution, all that, you're going to need a super powerful PC. There's no way around it.
No way around it. So top-of-the-line graphics card, tons of RAM, the works.
Pretty much. Which makes me wonder, who are they making this update for? The hardcore PC gamers with all the best gear? Or are they trying to appeal to everyone?
Because those are two very different groups of people.
Right. And how they approach this update, it can make it a huge success or a total flop.
Yeah, if they ignore the people who can't afford to upgrade their PCs, they're basically splitting the community even more.
Exactly. But if they focus too much on making it run on older PCs, the graphics might not look that great. It's a tough spot to be in.
It's a tough balance. Speaking of tough balances, we've got to address the big question.
The big question.
GTA 6. Is this update just a way for Rockstar to stall for time while they're working on the next game?
It's definitely possible. It keeps people happy with GTA V while they secretly work on GTA 6 in the background.
It's actually pretty clever, if you think about it.
It is. But how long can they keep doing this? At some point, people are going to get tired of waiting.
Right. I mean, how many times can they re-release GTA V before people just want something completely new?
Exactly. And some people might see this update as a sign that Rockstar's out of touch. Like they're ignoring what the players really want.
Yeah, especially those who are desperate for any news about GTA 6. This update might feel like a slap in the face.
Yeah, like they're trying to distract us from the fact that GTA 6 is still nowhere in sight.
Okay, so we've talked about some of the potential problems with this update. The split community, the mods that might stop working, the high system requirements, and the whole GTA 6 question. But let's not forget, there are some really cool things about it too.
Oh, yeah. There's a lot to be excited about. Like ray tracing, for example. It could completely change how GTA V looks and feels.
It'll be like seeing Los Santos for the first time.
Exactly. And the performance improvements. Faster loading, better sound, smoother gameplay. Every PC gamer can appreciate that, whether they care about ray tracing or not.
Even if you're not a hardcore gamer, these improvements could make the game much more fun to play.
Right. And for those who have a powerful PC, this update is going to be incredible. Imagine driving through Los Santos at night with all the lights reflecting off your car.
It's going to look amazing.
It will. This update could really appeal to both hardcore and casual gamers, It all depends on their PC and what they're looking for.
So it's not just for the people with the most expensive PCs.
Not at all. And that's what makes it so interesting. It's risky, but it could really pay off for Rockstar.
It's like they're pushing the limits of what's possible on PC.
Exactly. They're showing that even an old game like GTA V can be at the forefront of gaming technology.
Okay, but let's bring it back down to earth for a second.
Yeah.
What does this update really mean for the average player?
That's the big question.
So if you're a PC gamer and you've always wanted ray tracing in GTA V, this is your chance. You finally get to experience it.
But you got to be realistic. If your PC isn't that powerful, you're not going to get the full experience. And even if you do have a good PC, you might have to lower the resolution or something to get the best performance.
Right. Finding the right balance is key.
And remember, you don't have to get this update if you don't want to. You can stick with the old version if you're happy with it.
But if you're looking for a reason to upgrade your PC, this might be it.
Especially if you love great graphics.
Okay, enough about graphics. There are other good reasons to check out this update, even if you don't care about ray tracing.
Yeah, faster loading, better sound, smoother gameplay. These are things that every player can enjoy.
So even if ray tracing isn't your thing, this update is still worth a look.
In the end, it's your choice. Think about what's important to you as a gamer and go from there.
Exactly. And that's the great thing about PC gaming. You have so many options. You can customize your experience to be exactly how you want it.
Exactly. Make the most of this update and have fun.
Well said.
Yeah.
We've talked a lot about the technical side of things, but what about the bigger picture?
The bigger picture.
Yeah, like what does this update say about the future of GTA V and the whole GTA franchise?
Ooh, now those are some interesting questions.
It's crazy to think, right? A game that came out over 10 years ago, and people are still this excited about it.
GTA V, yeah, it's like Rockstar knew exactly what they were doing. This game, it's part of our culture now, you know? And this update, it shows they're not going to let it die anytime soon.
It's like they're saying, hey, everyone, remember Los Santos? We're not finished with it yet. Come check out what we've been working on.
Yeah. And for those who, haven't played in a while, this could be the perfect time to jump back in, imagine seeing all the old places. But now, with, incredible ray tracing.
Yeah, it'd be like rediscovering a whole city. But it's not just about nostalgia, right? There's got to be a reason, a business reason, why they're doing this.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Rockstar is a company, they want to make money. And this update, it's going to keep people playing GTA V, keep it relevant, even with all the new games coming out.
So are they just trying to milk it for all it's worth? Or are they risking making people tired of the game?
Good question. I guess we'll have to wait and see. But think about it. This update could bring in a whole new group of players, people who weren't even playing games when GTA V came out.
Oh, right. Get them hooked on GTA Online, then bam! Hit them with GTA 6 a few years later.
Exactly. It's a long-term plan, but it could really work for Rockstar. But even if GTA 6 is coming, this update still makes GTA V feel fresh, especially on PC.
It's like they're pushing the limits of what PCs can do, showing that even an old game can look amazing.
And the modders, think about what they could do with this. New tools, new stuff to work with, all kinds of possibilities.
It's like opening a treasure chest full of, modding secrets. What are they going to come up with?
I can't wait to see. We've seen some awesome mods for GTA V already, but this update, it could take things to a whole new level.
So some people might say Rockstar is stuck in the past, but others might see this as a way to celebrate GTA V, you know, and maybe even a preview of what's next for PC gaming.
It all depends how you look at it. In the end, it's the players who will decide if this update is a success or not.
True. But hey, let's have some fun. Imagine you're a Rockstar executive, you got to sell this update. What's your pitch?
Okay, let me see. Clear as throat. Attention, all gamers. Get ready to see Los Santos like you've never seen it before. Ray tracing, faster loading, Dolby Atmos. This is more than an update. It's a whole new GTA V experience.
I'm convinced. Where do I sign up?
But seriously, this update, it makes us think about what's going to happen to GTA V in the whole series, you know?
Right. Will people love it? Will it bring in new players? Or will some people feel left out because they can't run it? And what about GTA 6?
So many questions, and we're going to keep exploring them in future episodes. We're going to keep an eye on what's happening with this amazing series.
Absolutely. But for now, we want to hear from you. What do you think about this GTA V update? Are you excited? Do you have doubts?
Let us know on social media. Tell us what you think, what you're predicting. Even if it's crazy, we want to hear it all.
Because that's what the deep dive is all about. Exploring the world of games, tech, and everything in between. And having some cool conversations while we're at it.
And until next time, keep those controllers warmed up and those brains thinking.
Thanks for diving deep with us.